Well, hello there. This video is going to go measure by measure. We'll do two measures at a time, basically, and we're going to go through the solo that I use for Willie Nelson's classic hit, Funny How Time Slips Away. We're way up here at the 10th fret on the E string with my ring finger, and then on the 9th fret of the A string with my middle finger, and that is a D double stop. And I start the song on beat 1 of measure 18. I start the solo with this double stop. Should just slid down like this. So I play those two measures, 18 and 19, and then with the following couple of licks. And this lick ends on the first beat of the 20th measure. And so I'm going to go ahead and play that for you now. We're going to start right here with this D arpeggio. And then we're going to come over here to this G note, A note, I mean. We're going to come to this A note on the D string, and we're going to make our chromatic run down to G. It's the same thing we were doing down here, but it's an octave higher. And there we're just playing that G arpeggio. So that is the G note here on the A string, the D note on the G note, the G note on the D string, and then we've got the D note on the A string, and then we got the B note here on the E string. So it goes like this again. We take our middle finger and we move it up 2 strings so that we're at the 7th fret on the D string. We're going to play that little lick. So we go from here the 7th fret on the D string. We're going to hammer from there to the 9th fret. Followed by the 5th fret at the A string. And we're going to play those 2 notes twice, where we're going from this D note at the 5th fret of the A string So we're going from this D note to this E note, and then we're ending with this F sharp, and this F sharp here is played on the A string up here at the 9th fret, and you hit that. That's actually a quarter note, and it's actually the first note of measure 20. Now it's not shown in the tablature and the notation that I made for this music, but I generally slide that quarter note down. We're going to play the whole thing through slowly. That's the little lick from measures 18 to 19, ending on the first note of measure 20. Okay, measures 20 and 21. Basically, they're going to be very similar, and actually they're pretty much the same, only an octave or two higher from what we played in these fills. So we're going to play the same thing down here. So in measure 20, our very first beat is this quarter note, which ended the licks that we played in the first two measures of the solo. So starting in 20, we're going to play through 20 and 21 like this. That's measures 20 and 21. So of course we start here, then we move down here, and we're on the E string, and we're starting on this A note at the 5th fret. We're going from this A note at the 5th fret to the F sharp at the 2nd fret, down to the open E. I'm sorry, we don't use the open E there. Excuse my old 67-year-old brain. We're going from the A note to the F sharp note to the D note, and then down a half a step. So we've got that. This is like the major 7 arpeggio. Then we play the major 6 arpeggio by going down to the 2nd fret. And then we play the turnaround so we're playing an open A, and then hammering to the B note, back to the D, C sharp, B, A. That's open, hammering to the 2nd fret, and then we play the 5th fret, the 4th fret, the 2nd fret, and open. We're hammering here. Again, those two measures played completely and slowly are like this. Even slower. Okay, so far we have and now measures 22 and 23. So at the beginning of measure 22, we have this note, this D note, and then we play this D arpeggio. Could slide into that first note and sort of, you've only got one measure on the half a step here to slide down, but you can still give that little sound sort of an ornament like that. So you can go like this, And then what we want to do is we want to do that same chromatic run from A to G. We're playing actually triplets according to what I have written there. We're playing you could just play it on the beat. At any rate, it's the same as this that we started with back in the verses. We moved it up an octave here, same notes. Now we're moving it on up another octave here. Okay, so we're starting here on the first beat, measure 22. Now we're going to hit this note again and we're going to slide. That may be a difficult slide to make, but you have to practice, and it helps sometimes. If you look at the note that you're sliding to, which is going to be this D note way up here on the 10th fret, you're going to be sliding to that D note. So it's good always to sort of visualize in your mind what you're doing down here with your fingers. And one way to help you with that when you're playing is, instead of looking at your hand, you want to look up here at the note that you are sliding to and practice that slide. You want to try to get a consistent sound sliding all the way up. Now this is not always easy to do, so it's good just to practice that over and over until you get it if you have trouble with that. But believe me, it's possible. You can hear me doing it. It's not that hard if you're new to slides. And you know, my side and my videos are aimed at amateurs like myself, and you know, there are a lot of different levels of amateur. Some of you are very serious amateurs, been playing for years and years and years. Others may be new, and this may be very difficult for some of you, but if you practice it, it will become easy over time. So what you want to do, make this run, and then you purposely pick that note again and slide it up. Like that. Just practice that over and over. And try to get that feel. Like that. And then once you're up here, you have a very simple pattern that you're playing, and when you play that pattern, you're going to use 3 notes. Those 3 notes. So you're skipping a fret between each one. You're going from the 10th fret to the 12th fret to the 14th fret. Those notes are D, E, and F sharp. Okay, and so it's going to go like this. The pattern is this. Very, very similar to what we did down here. Matter of fact, it's the same notes. You're going to do the same thing here. You want to slide it down. And I know it's hard to get much sound on this particular mandolin. This is my cheapie. I like to play it because I like the way it feels, and I started doing some lessons and photos of it on my card diagram, so I'm continuing to use it for that. Not my main axe to play with, but it's a little Washburn, and it doesn't get a wonderful sound. A wonderful clear ringing sound up here, and it's kind of hard to make that note sound when I slide. But I do the best I can. If I'm doing nothing but practicing that note and sliding, it can get pretty good. That's not bad. Hope you can hear what I'm aiming at there. Now, when I'm actually playing this, whether I'm practicing or playing it in a gig or whatever, it's a lot harder to get that nice, beautiful, clear sound like I just did. Even though it's not the greatest up the neck anyway for this particular mandolin. On any mandolin, for me, it's hard to get that sound clear when I'm playing, but it's something that I have to work at. Uh, I say I have to. I'm just driven to try to learn to play better and have been all my life, but it's not so much that I have to, but that I want to. Something that I really want to work at, and I do work at from time to time when I'm doing things like this, like I'm doing right now. Try to get that note clear in the midst of actually playing. Now, when we get this, when we get that, we have actually gotten to the end of measure 23. So, again, measures 22 through 23. And by the way, this note is actually the first beat of measure 24, and it's sliding from the 14th fret down to the 5th. You'll see that in the notation. Just keep practicing that and try to get a good clear sound to it all. And if you need to slow that down to play it with me and loop it or whatever you want to do with video, I'm going to play it much slower this time.